So following on from Sunday, I just want to share with you what happens next in Acts chapter 8. It's not a long passage, so let me read it to you briefly. The title of the passage is The Church Persecuted and Scattered. We're starting Acts chapter 8 verse 1. On that day a great persecution broke out against the church in Jerusalem, and all except the apostles were scattered through Judea and Samaria. Godly men buried Stephen and mourned deeply for him. But Saul began to destroy the church. Going from house to house, he dragged off both men and women and put them in prison. Those who had been scattered preached the word wherever they went. Philip went down to a city in Samaria and proclaimed the Messiah there. When the crowds heard Philip and saw the signs he performed, they all paid close attention to what he said. For with shrieks, impure spirits came out of many, and many who were paralysed or lame were healed. So there was great joy in that city. We heard on Sunday about the stoning of Stephen, the first martyr for the Christian faith, and this was basically a catalyst for a battle. It sparked the persecution of Christians in a really significant way. It's frightening the way it's described in Acts chapter 8 verse 3 when it says that Saul began to destroy the church. He made it his mission to destroy and bring down people of faith. It describes him going from house to house. He dragged off both men and women and put them in prison. He was like a tyrant, completely out of control, and he made it his sole purpose to target those who were associated with or were followers of Christ. Now, these verses that we've read and the way that these Christians responded is absolutely fascinating to me, because I know how easily affected I can be when I come under criticism or mild persecution, or even just in this season when things are tough. I can be sensitive, I can be tempted to retreat or withdraw, I can be tempted to give up being hopeful or become a complainer because I miss the normal things which help keep me strong, particularly being at church in the usual way. And yet, here we see Christians come under intense pressure. Many of them had been forced to scatter and form very small churches because to gather in any kind of numbers would have put them in jail. Saul was not allowing this to be easy for people of faith. Now, I'm only focusing on a few short verses in chapter 8 which gives an insight into how they responded, but what we read there is amazing. It says that those Christians who were scattered, the ones who were under real pressure and therefore couldn't even stay in the same place as they were, they used this as an incredible opportunity. And it said they preached the word wherever they went. Isn't that an amazing response to their difficult situation? They were under such persecution they couldn't even stay in one place. And yet they said, no home, no problem. We'll just share our faith wherever we are and it will be all good. In fact, they even began to demonstrate their faith in miraculous ways. And their response to their difficult situation just caused people to sit up and take note and ask, who are these people? I don't know what you think of when you read this, but the question that it stirs up in my mind is this: what is my faith really made of? I've had difficult seasons in my life before, but what's different now is not being able to gather with my people, the people who give me strength and encouragement, who build me up, who give me hope and accountability. That is the part that is limited right now. But the hard question is this: is our hope in Christ? Or is our hope in the church? Is our hope in God, or is our hope in people? Is our faith strong, or do we rely on the strong faith of others? This season is causing us to take a deep personal inventory right now, and it's important to ask these hard questions. So if we go back to the passage as we finish off, we come to my favourite part, my favourite verse in this section. As a result of how these new Christians responded to their adversity and the challenges around them, it says this: there was great joy in that city. Wow, these people were joy spreaders. I think if there was ever anything to aim for, this is it. What a challenge to us as Christians, to not take ourselves too seriously, to lighten up, to learn to laugh, and to embrace the truth that Christians are supposed to enjoy life and spread joy wherever we go. It is possible to find joy in small ways regardless of what season we are in. It might just be in really, really small ways, but if we can learn to laugh and give thanks, then we will get through any season, even the tough one that we are in just now as a nation. So church, let's take the challenge of these disciples who under intense suffering and persecution were always looking for opportunities to share the hope of Christ. And let's be the first to rise up and spread joy wherever we go today. Have a good day.